Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend, a fantastic Saturday. It is Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Saturday. Sorry. So I see a lot of familiar faces or familiar avatars. Excellent, excellent. Welcome, Becky Emmett from Canada. All right. And yes, everyone from Dad Challenge Podcast, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy it. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to address, I'm not going to play the footage again because I don't think there's any need to really go over that again. It's pretty painful from a bunch of different angles. It's painful to see Brian smiling. It's painful to see the cops dropping the ball the way that they did. And it's especially painful to see Gabby in the state that she's in. So I'm not gonna pain everyone by going through all that all over again. I don't think it's necessary. But we are going to talk about it because I'm assuming that we're all familiar with it. And if you're not familiar with it, I suggest you familiarize yourself with it. But we are, Jen Perry wants to know what I had for dinner. I bought a rotisserie chicken from Walmart and I ate half of it. And I am doing the intermittent fasting. So I started that at, basically what I do is I can eat from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. And so I have to eat clean if I want to actually lose any weight. But those other 16 hours out of the day, I can't eat anything or consume anything other than coffee and tea and water, and black coffee or tea or water. But I'm kind of cheating right now because I still have some coffee creamer, right? I still have some coffee creamer, and if I don't drink it until Thanksgiving, like it's obviously going to go bad before then. So, I'm going to get rid of the coffee creamer but I'm still going to continue to not eat within those 16 hours or consume anything but coffee or black tea and water. And yes, prayers for her family. Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, Mexi weighed himself and then it came out in kilograms. Like, dude, we don't use the metric system here, dude. This isn't Europe. Like, what are you doing? I don't even know what that is. But he kind of did the calculation. He's at something like 197 or something like that. But Josh from Dad Challenge Podcast seems to be taking it very seriously as well. So, and we watched that video, I think it was last night, where he actually went through some rigorous training for some weight loss, for 12 weeks. I think it was something like that, which is pretty amazing. There was definitely a big difference. So, the doubts that I had about Josh before are no longer there. Josh is in this thing. Okay. And I'm rooting for him. What's funny is I'm actually, I'm obviously, I'm going to crush them both. Okay. That's a given. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Okay. It is. I am the Thanos of this competition. Okay. I am inevitable. You understand? There's nothing that can be done about it. Okay. But I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. And I'm going to be as supportive as I can. as far as hey, Sandy Smith, welcome. So I'm going to be as supportive as I can of them. And this I thought I had locked. I thought I had this locked, but Mexi seems pretty focused. He had one clean meal that I saw. Now, how many Doritos and Twinkies he had in between that? How many empanadas he had? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I can tell you right now that I've completely stuck to my diet so far. It's only been one day. It's only been one day. But yeah, you guys are welcome to take bets amongst yourselves in the chat if you want. That's fine. But anybody who bets against me, well, that's a bummer for you. Because I have this. This is all mine. It's all mine. So but I'm also the person that I'm rooting for the most is Irish Fan, who I don't think is in the chat right now, but maybe she'll come later. I don't know. But I'm rooting for Irish Fan. Most definitely. I am Team Irish Fan. Now, before I continue, let me go ahead and address the elephant in the room, okay? So, yes, I have been made aware over and over and over and over and over again about the fact that Jake Bellington has been arrested. It's all over the place, so I'm not going to get into the details of what his charges are, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, but I cannot oblige you, all right? So the only thing that I'm going to say in regards to that is Swill was right. Anyway, moving on. So we are going to discuss how the police did not handle this the way that they should have handled it. And I'm going to be clear. I don't necessarily think now, okay, real quick. Yeah, it's not for the Jake Bellington thing is not for Sophie's claims. It's not for that. At least I don't think so. I'm actually 99% sure it's not. But I mean, come on, just go back and watch my Kelly Long deposition videos, and you'll see that I was right. That most of us with a brain, every one of us with half a brain, we're right. So that's all that needs to be said. Anyway, so as far as Gabby Petito and the fact that one thing I'm going to say, I'm going to begin this by saying I in no way, shape, or form blame those law enforcement officers for what happened to Gabby. They had no way of knowing that that's what would happen to Gabby. Now, should they have acted in assumption that could have happened? And even one of the police officers makes the comment, but I don't think that they believed it. And I definitely don't think that they looked at a guy like Brian Dirty Laundry as somebody who even was capable of even, they just didn't see that in him. But, when you look at you looked at Ted Bundy, nobody saw that either. What? Ted? No, Ted didn't do that. Ted did what to women? No, not the Ted Bundy that I went to college with. That's crazy. I mean, we Mickey'd a couple of drinks and, had the occasional DR, but yeah, nobody thought, oh, no way. What's up, dude? Yeah, there's no dogs out here right now, so Jinx is not scared. Of course, he's got to sharpen his claws real quick. Let's wait for Jinx to go ahead and do that. Are you good? Are you good? Okay. So I hope you're joking. I really hope that's a joke. Please tell me that's a joke. Please redeem yourself and tell me that's a joke. I really like you, Jen Perry. Please. Bless you. Do I need to like come over there and just nurse you? Do I need to stop what I'm doing here and do that, Jinx? Are we good? Okay. Okay, good. Just checking. Just making sure. I mean, I've already dealt with in my comment section of my community post. I've already dealt with an overwhelming amount of stupidity, and only from a couple of people. Like it's like what, you know. So I'm at a point in my day today where nothing is going to surprise me as far as people saying stupidity. You guys, you know how it works. Okay, now that's also not an invitation to start talking about this in my chat. When I said that I was done talking about it, that means that I was done talking about it. So any comments regarding that case are going to be deleted. Okay, so as far as Gabby Petito goes, I'm going to go ahead and play something for you real quick. And
Perspective tonight from a domestic violence expert who, like most of us, watched that police video showing Gabby Petito and her fiance Brian Laundrie before her death and his disappearance. She tells News Channel 8's watch that police video showing Gabby Petito and her fiance Brian Laundrie before her death and his disappearance. She tells News Channel 8's Nico Clemens the officers should have asked more questions before letting them go.
Many people have now seen the latest body camera video from Moab City Police. Gabby Petito telling an officer Brian Laundrie hit her. I talked with an advocate for domestic violence victims who says officers didn't ask enough questions.
We want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, you know.
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
An anxious Gabby Petito describes her fight with her fiance to a Moab City police officer last month.
so she does say that he hit her.
Like with his nail, and I guess that's why it looks. I definitely have a cut right here, so I can feel it.
Yeah.
Touch it, it burns.
He just grabbed you?
Mindy Murphy says the video is concerning. She's the president and CEO of the Spring of Tampa Bay, the certified domestic violence center for Hillsborough County.
All of her activities were being scrutinized and none of his.
Murphy says officers didn't ask enough questions about Brian Laundrie's behavior.
That was a perfect opportunity for them to have said, has Brian ever grabbed you by the face before? Has he ever put his hands around your neck?
In the police report, Moab City police officers didn't feel the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault as much as that of a mental health crisis. No charges were filed and the couple was separated for the night. In the body camera video, an officer indicates Petito was the aggressor in the fight. But in a 911 call, a witness told the dispatcher he saw Laundrie hitting Petito.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her.
The reason why they don't give us discretion on these things is because too many times women who are at risk want to go back to their abuser. They just wanted him to stop, and they don't want to have to be separated. They don't want him charged. They don't want him to go to jail. And then they end up getting worse and worse treatment, and then they end up getting killed.
We do.
Now, right there, you hear that officer acknowledging this to the other officer. He's saying that he's explaining exactly why she does not want to be separated from him. So it's not like he's not aware. And he even goes to that worst case scenario and says that that's when somebody ends up getting killed. So, and I'm really sorry about the background noise, guys. Somebody's watching TV. I don't really have any control over that, but it shouldn't be for long.
You know, the city of Moab says it'll launch an investigation into how police officers handle that interaction with Petito and Laundrie. In Northport, I'm Nico Clemens, 8 on your side.
Now it's interesting because right there we hear a domestic or a DV expert say that this officer missed a bunch of opportunities to ask the right questions. Has he ever grabbed your face before? Has he ever grabbed your throat? So on and so forth. Which Josh and I both, when each of us went over this footage, we mentioned something along those lines too. And so it was obvious to even the civilian that this was not handled the way that it should have been handled. But I want to be clear. I'm not blaming these officers for what happened to Gabby. Could it have possibly been prevented? Sure. But the situation is a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to try to look at things. I'm going to spend this live stream trying to look at things from those officers' point of view and from their perspective. I'm going to try to empathize with them to a certain degree because I do believe that their hearts were in the right place. I just think that they either lacked the training or simply did not remember their training properly, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because I did not see anything from these guys. Because if they were being malicious and they had some sort of animosity towards Gabby as the aggressor, well, then they would have taken her to jail. They would have absolutely done that. They had grounds to. According to them, they had grounds to. According to the way that they assessed all of the issues. Now, one thing that really, really bothered me is there was one point where this officer, in hopes to trying to get Gabby out of the situation that he believed that she was in and could not get out of, but still, you got to keep in mind, his mindset was the law is written. It's a statute. I have no control over that. And he still went out of his way to try to find some sort of loophole to override that because he did not want to take Gabby to jail. He did see her somewhat as a victim, but he didn't think that he didn't. I don't believe that he thought that there was a way to prove that in court. That if she ended up going to jail, that there was too much. They ended up filing a mandatory protective order like they said they were supposed to. Well, that could mess up her future. And I don't think that they wanted her to go through that. And I don't believe that if that was filed, that it would have been easy for her to get out of it in court. I believe that this officer was looking at things the way that most police officers do, the way that I'm always saying that police officers do and they're trained to do, is everything is a prelude to a court date. Everything is prelude to a possible trial. Okay. So if this thing had gone to trial and that body cam footage was there and she's admitting, you got to understand there were 4 accounts. Okay. There's 2 witnesses, the 911 caller, the other witness that the police officer interviewed on the scene. There was Brian, and then there was Gabby's account of what happened. 3 out of 4 of those accounts lined up. You have to keep in mind, folks, that's absolutely the truth. Okay? 3 out of 4 of those accounts lined up. And what's even worse about that, what's up, Mexi? What's even worse about that is that one of those accounts out of those 3 that lined up is Gabby's. Okay. And when I say that, you have her admitting, or not, I don't want to say admitting, I want to say taking the blame, her taking the blame and stating that she hit him first. He asks, "Did he hit you?" She says, "Yes, but I hit him first." Okay. So that right there puts them in the mindset that she's the aggressor. Okay. Now, at no point did they say, well, nobody should be hitting anybody. They kind of hinted towards that, saying, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. But they really, really focused on her mental health because of the fact that she said that she had anxiety issues and OCD. But I, yeah, Jameson, I'm going to agree with you there. You know, you're the attorney, and I'm not. But following these cases, these real crime cases, I've learned I've learned a little bit about how this works, and it's on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. It's on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. It's only the defense's job to create doubt. And there's a lot there to have been able to create doubt. So I think that this officer knew this and was doing everything that he could to try to keep her from being in that situation. I'm just going to leave that up there for a little while, okay? Because Cherry clearly hasn't gotten the message. Okay. So anyway, the officers, I think, like I said, they're in the mindset of this going to court and what's going to happen. And I think that they felt bad for her. And I think that this is another thing. This is something that I don't think any of us have taken into consideration, or at least verbalized, is that understand that the police right now, they're under a lot of scrutiny in the public. Ever since this whole George Floyd thing happened, as tragic as it was, there's a lot of pressure on law enforcement. Anything that they're doing is looked under as under a microscope. And so this is where it gets really ugly for me. This is why this whole defunding the police thing has become absolutely toxic, because you have to understand that these police officers are also human beings. They're human beings with a job just like you, and they don't want to lose their job. And they believe in the organization that they work for and they belong to, and they've sworn an oath to, and they see each other as brothers and sisters. So you have to understand that this human side of them comes with something, an inevitable something, which is fear. Okay. And when you make decisions out of fear, or your decisions are influenced in some way, shape, or form by fear, well, you're not going to make sound decisions every time, because what's going to happen is you're going to look out for yourself. You're going to unconsciously look out for yourself. And I think that that's what was going on here. I think there was too much. See, we look at, there's one side of the coin where we say, okay, well, these officers, what they were doing, they were focused on her mental health and they were gaslighting her. They were making her feel like she was crazy, blah, blah, blah. They were patronizing her. You know, they were, you know, just kind of stringing her along and patronizing her, while already with the mindset that she's the aggressor. And she's the aggressor because she's crazy. But I don't think that's the case. See, because the other side to that coin is, how much scrutiny would they have gotten if it were a different situation and they were not focused on her mental health? They were not sensitive to her mental health needs. So I'm of the opinion that that's what their mindset was. I'm of the opinion that they were more focused on, how's it going to look if this girl ends up doing something to herself or someone else and we didn't address and we weren't sensitive to her mental health issues when addressing her. And that's a serious problem, because look at what happened as a result of that. Because that's honestly my opinion as to what happened. When assessing everything, not just that situation, use your eyes and look at all of it, okay? Not just that situation, but the situation, the large situation that we're in surrounding it. Think about that. So these guys are under a lot of pressure. They've got body cams. They know they're being recorded every single second. And they feel forced to talk about certain things when certain things are addressed to them, because they're afraid of litigation. They're afraid of charges being brought up against them. And look at how ironic, because this poor girl ends up being murdered by her fiance after the fact. And in this, she is made out to be the aggressor. To the common civilian, that's just what they did. They were just like, she's the aggressor, he's the innocent one. But I don't necessarily think that they felt that he was the innocent one. I think by the way a jury would look at it, they were basically thinking on that level because it was the safe way to go. Or at least in their minds, they thought it was the safe way to go. But I don't think, you know, like I said, I don't think that they honestly believed that she was the aggressor. But the problem with that argument is they failed to acknowledge her injuries. This officer with the second footage does once, and not one more time after that. He does not acknowledge her injuries at all. He gets on the phone with the supervisor, and the purpose of that was to help her, to try to get her out of the situation. And in doing so, he would have to explain to his supervisor the details of the scenario. Now, he does go over the details of that scenario, but he fails to mention that the 911 caller claimed that she was slapped. He fails to mention that she admits that she hit him, or that he hit her. Sorry about that. He fails to tell him that she admits that he hit her, and then changes her story and goes, yeah, I guess. But what he did really was he grabbed my face and he scratched it. And that's why it burns when I touch it. So we've already talked about that is clearly an act of aggression. When you grab someone's face like that, and it's hard enough to break the skin, that's an act of aggression. That is not an act of defense. And so this was completely overlooked. And I would like to believe that if this detail was shared with that supervisor, things would have probably went different. I think that would have caused them to probe him a bit more and say, hey, what about the scratches on her face? Like, I mean, you had to have been pretty mad, you know? You had to have been pretty mad to grab her face like that. And to put him in that position when he's sitting there smiling and making jokes, and to put him in that position where he seems absolutely relieved that they are looking at her as the aggressor, because they're missing that too. They're missing the fact that he seems relieved that they find her to be the aggressor and him to be the victim. So that's something that really, 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 really has been getting under my skin ever since I was watching Josh's live stream last night. I just couldn't stop thinking about that. And well, there was a female there, but she was like a parks and recreation or something like that. But she's technically law enforcement. So that's probably why they called her over there. Since she's not a police officer, they probably said, well, she's probably the only female available. Susan, thank you for the super chat. They have fear. They are underpaid and tired from working off-duty jobs and no training. I agree. More questions should have been asked. Right. Nobody's saying that these officers didn't make mistakes. What I'm saying is these are not excuses, mind you. These are not excuses that I'm making for these officers. I'm just trying to give a certain perspective as to try to understand, though, that this mistake is an easy one to make under all of these circumstances. You understand? They're easy to make. Now, I also agree that you don't really have room to make mistakes like that when you have the responsibility of a police officer. You know, somebody's life could be in danger. And in this case, it clearly was. And that's why these officers are probably going to be reprimanded. That's why these officers' supervisors are probably going to be reprimanded. And it's, you know, their superiors are going to be reprimanded, you know, and okay, Cynthia, look, I realize you're all heated up here. Okay. And no, I'm not making excuses, because nothing excuses what they did. Because if you just listened, use your ears and listen. If you had done that, then you would know, and you would have heard me say that there is no room for mistakes like this. There are no, you know, it's just not a thing that you get to do when you're in the business of saving lives. So that's not a luxury they get to have, is to make mistakes like this. But what I'm saying is, that if you're going to hold them responsible for what happened to Gabby, well, guess what? Everybody's screaming defund the police. They're just as responsible. In my personal opinion, they're just as responsible. Dude, Cynthia, listen. Have a seat. So all of these people screaming defund the police, in my personal opinion, are just as responsible. Because before this, cops were able to just do their jobs. Yes, there were the occasional bad apples. I'm not denying that. There are definitely the occasional bad apples that abuse their power. Absolutely. But I didn't get the impression that these were cops that were the type to abuse their power. I didn't get that at all. I saw these guys, at least one of them, wanting to use his power to try to help someone. These were nobody that were in the mindset of, I want to hurt these people. I want to help them. That was where his mind was. But you have to understand that there was probably a lot of influence from the pressure that he's getting from the way that society is looking at police officers nowadays, and the way that and so their superiors are putting pressure on them. There's a lot of pressure on the upper rankings in the police department in order to put pressure on those with boots on the ground and facing everything and dealing with everything on an everyday basis. You have to understand that that is an issue, and I can't get that out of my mind. I can't help but wonder if this wasn't such a thing that's been going on. Could that have saved Gabby's life? Could those guys have been more focused on the task rather than, I might say the wrong thing, and being nervous and choking at the mic? And I think we all need to take a little accountability for that. I honestly do. Yeah, and sure, better training needs to be, there definitely needs to be better training. Okay. you sound a lot like canceled Karen right now. Like eerily. You sound a whole lot like her right now. And I'm going to go ahead and shut that down, because that's the mindset of somebody who has no tolerance. That is the mindset of a lack of tolerance. Because, well, and the reason why I say that is, if you can't try and empathize that somebody might think differently or have different desires than you might have different standards of living than you might have, well, then that would tell me that you would probably be somebody with a lack of tolerance. And that's an issue. So, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm acknowledging the fact that van life, there's a lot of people that choose to live that life. There's a lot of people that enjoy living that life. What's up, buddy? You want to come up here? Come on. No? All right. There's a lot of people who choose to live that life. Yeah, they had a home. They weren't homeless. They chose this as an adventure together. I'm sure at the time it seemed like a great idea. But that the fact that they were in each other's throats, I don't think that had anything to do. I don't think that their living conditions really had anything to do with it. I think that was simply an excuse that Gabby was making in order to make excuses for Brian. Because, I mean, I've seen the video she made. They looked perfectly happy. I'm sure a lot of it was them just being really happy. Have you ever been on a road trip? I have. Road trips are fun. And it's not like they didn't have tents to sleep in. You think these two were just cramped up in a van, in the back of the van, sleeping everywhere? No, they had tents. They had camping equipment. They had high-end camping equipment. I mean, they weren't exactly roughing it. You understand? They had cell phones. They had everything that they needed. And more. They had more than what they needed. So don't give me this, oh, well, they were basically homeless and no wonder. Some people enjoy living with minimal. As a matter of fact, I do to a certain degree. I'm not an outdoorsman. But there are certain things that you people, most of you, think that you need when you don't. I got to a point where I realized this and was like, I don't need that. I don't need that. Why would I want that extra bill? You know what I'm saying? I can make a very modest amount of money, right? I can make a very modest amount of money and sacrifice luxuries by recognizing that that's exactly what they are and not necessities, and exercising gratitude for the things that I do have, because I have everything that I need and then some. I still have a lot of luxuries. But I am more than happy because I focus on being grateful for the things that I have rather than wanting the things that I can't have, or that I'd have to do God knows what to get when I don't even need it. The only purpose it would serve is to have it because everybody else seems to have it. I don't share that desire with people. That's not something that I focus on. So to me, living out of a van with the luxury of being able to see the beautiful parts of this country with the person that you think that you're in love with, well, in theory, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Okay, so then why are you saying that they were basically homeless and no wonder they were at each other? I mean, pick one, man. You know, I don't mean to jump down your throat here, but come on. You just put me on a rant with your last comment, and now you're like, I wasn't homeless when I lived in an RV for several years either. Far from it. Okay, well, thank you for agreeing with me finally. Yeah, some of them are the most interesting people you'll ever meet in your life. Some of them have the most uh, captivating stories you'll ever hear. Next time you're out in a downtown area and you're walking blocks because you're drunk, right? You left the bar with your friends, like sit down with a homeless dude, give him $5 and just ask him how he's doing or how she's doing. Just ask them. I'll bet you anything they're going to be so excited for the company and they're going to spin yarns and talk your ear off. And even if these things are untrue, they'll be entertaining stories nevertheless, because these people have nothing but their imaginations to entertain them all day long, all day long, all night long. You should be so lucky to be able to experience the things that somebody who you wouldn't even bother to look at when you step over, because of the wisdom that you might gain from it. You should be so lucky. So, to sit here and act like, oh, well, they're homeless and no wonder, they're living like vagabonds. Well, okay. Maybe people like living like a vagabond, man. Maybe it's an adventure. You know what's an adventure? As a matter of fact, I dare anybody to do it. You know what's an adventure? Live like a homeless person for a week. Do it. Do it. No money, no cards, no phone, nothing. Nothing but the clothes on your back. Do it for a week. I guarantee you, on that 7th day, you are a completely different person. I promise you that. And some of you are thinking, well, why the hell would I do that? I wouldn't even bother trying to explain it to you if I had to. There's no point to say, why the hell would I do that? There's no. And if you're saying no thanks, Katie, because you're grateful for the things that you have and you'd rather exercise that, then cool too. There's nothing wrong with that. But to act like you would, by doing so, you'd be doing something dumb and lowering yourself to a level that somebody else is at, well then, yeah, I can't even relate to you. I can't even begin to relate to you. Exactly. Exactly. Luckily, when I was in that position, I was young. When you're young, it's fun. When you're young, it's fun. It does suck most of the time, but if you got some friends with you, you got people watching your back, and you got that peace of mind knowing that you got theirs. That's priceless, man. That is priceless. And I'd do it again. I would do it all over again. I would live that experience all over again. Absolutely. I believe you, Katie. No, Katie. I didn't realize there was another Katie in there. Katie Kaiser is who I was talking to. So, I mean, I love that, Don Marie. There are two types of people in this world: those that are humble and those that are about to be. That is damn right. That is damn right. Yeah. You're not going to be in that position and not learn something, you know? And then people judge them. Well, oh well, yeah, some of them are homeless because they threw their lives away because they drank too much, and then they're drinking on the street. And then you're like, oh well, you know what, with your face mask, here's $1, but I'm not going to give it to you if you're going to spend it on booze or drugs. You know what, dude? What business is of yours what they spend it on? If you gave it to them, you gave it to them. That's not yours no more. Either give it to them or don't give it to them. Who are you to dictate what they spend their money on? Don't worry about it. Because the way I see it, if I give somebody money out of my pocket because they're homeless, to me, that's contributing to whatever makes their night go by a little easier. Whatever, to me, I'm contributing to their comfort. Who are you to say what's comfortable for them and what isn't? What do they got to lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to be like, now, here you go, but not if you're going to spend it on booze. What do you care? It's none of your business what they spend it on. People blow my mind, man. So to sit there and look down on Gabby for wanting to experience a little, hey, I just want to be at one with my surroundings. I don't want to be glued to a phone. I want to truly feel a connection with my partner. How many of you guys get to do that, man? How many of you guys are in relationships right now where you're stuck in an apartment, right? You're just stuck in an apartment, same four walls, boyfriend sitting there playing video games. Babe, stop. I'm about to beat this level. How many of y'all are in that situation? Think about it. You know what I mean? What's wrong with being like, you know what? I'm going to put a stop to this for a little while. I'm going to get on the road with this dude, and we're going to experience the world, man. We're going to experience what it's like to be a part of it, man. Instead of watching it on TV on the Travel Channel. Why not just do it? What's stopping us from just doing it? So all y'all saying that her making that decision to go do that with him is part of the reason why it happened, and that's part of the blame as to what happened. No. That's victim blaming BS, and we just don't do that here on this Real Crime channel. We don't do that. That's true crime community stuff. That's what that is. Take that stuff over to the true crime community. We don't do that at the Real Crime community. We don't do that. Hey, I like hanging out in my jammies with you too. Tommy Hortons, my man. What's up, dude? Yeah, man. Think about that. How many of y'all are just living paycheck to paycheck, man? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not knocking your life decisions. I'm saying, you know, what if you had the opportunity to not live paycheck to paycheck and you had the opportunity to go travel and see things with your significant other? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with cutting some corners and going, you know what? Like, think about it. We could either get a van and we could deck it all out to where we could sleep in it if we need to. We'll get some camping gear, some good camping gear, so that we're as comfortable as possible. And that's one investment right there. Instead of spending $100-200 a night on a hotel room every night. Think about how much money we'll save. Think about how much money we'll have in order to eat and go do cool things while we're out. I'd rather do cool things, to spend the day doing something cool and fun, and then crash in the tent. Like, the whole point was to get away from four walls and a bed, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, man. Like, the more and more I sit here and think out loud about it, the more appealing it sounds. To sit there and act like there's some defect in their relationship for doing that is ridiculous. There's a defect in their relationship because Brian is a douchebag. That's the defect in their relationship. Brian's the defect. It's that simple. That's the defect in their relationship, is Brian the dirty douche laundry. I mean, like, seriously, man. Like, I love that. Think about that. I mean, how absurd is that? How absurd is it to sit there and go, well, the reason why, because that's what you're implying. I don't care what you're saying, not the person that commented earlier. I'm talking about fools like Canceled Karen. Like, to imply that the reason why they didn't get along was because of the decision that they made to do that. No. The reason why they didn't get along was because Brian was abusive, and he proved it by murdering her. That's the reason they didn't get along. Make no mistake. Brian was abusive. He couldn't handle those conditions. Don't do that if you can't handle it, because there's a lot of people out there that can, like Red, White, and Butane, that turned out to be heroes in this whole thing, didn't they? Red, White, and Butane turned out to be heroes in this whole thing because they were out there doing the exact same thing that they were doing and filming it. And then when my man was editing, he noticed the van. And that is what led to finding Gabby's body, which allowed her family, or will allow them, to bury her, or whatever they do to honor her remains. Is it Bethune or Butane? I don't know. But whatever they did, whatever their name is, they're great. And your boy Gary's in the house. What's up, your boy Gary? Your boy Gary, everybody. Yeah, man. I don't have a lot of patience with limeys today, bro. I don't. And no, not that one. Ain't got nothing to do with this. Talking about, I woke up today. It's off the subject. We're going to get back into the subject, but I woke up today and got an email from my bank asking me if these charges were authorized by me or someone authorized to use my card. And I was like, no. because they weren't. And the charges were in London, England. Freaking thieving limeys. So I had to go to the bank and get a new card. Luckily, I got a bank where I can actually go into the branch and they'll just print me out a new card like right there and then. So it was an easy fix. It was an easy fix. I was broke anyway, and so they didn't get anything. So, it was an easy fix. So it's all good. I got a new card. Everything's good. But I was like, London. First thing I thought, I was like, Cherry. She's going and pulling real crime on me. No, I know it wasn't you, Cherry. I'm joking. Yeah, man. And I got the kind that like, bink, you just tap it on the reader. Bink. That'll be $69.69. Bink. Approved. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to play you this other thing now. Jakes, are you still over there? Jakes, still over there. Hello? Okay, well, whatever. I'm just going to. My computer's out here acting a fool. This is another issue that I have yet to address.
Was first reported missing on September 17th. That same day, his parents told the FBI they actually hadn't seen him September 14th when he went for a hike in the Carlton Reserve. Authorities have been searching the gator-infested rugged terrain ever since, but still no sign of Brian.
Me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. She's like a sister, and my children love her.
In an interview posted on September 17th, Brian's sister, Laundrie, tells Good America the last time she saw her brother was when he returned home on September 1st. But we learn now that may not be true.
All I want for her to come home safe and sound, and this to be just a big misunderstanding.
In a statement, the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, tells Fox 13, quote, Cassie saw her brother Brian on September 1st when he stopped by her home, and again on September 6th at Fort DeSoto Park. Law enforcement agencies are well aware of these dates. Any prior communication by Cassie that does not reflect these dates is simply a difference of relating an answer to a question misinterpreted by Cassie or poorly posed by the Inquirer. Documents obtained by Fox News show the Laundries checked into the Fort DeSoto Park campground on September 6th and checked out on September 8th. The FBI was last at the Laundrie home on Thursday afternoon. The Laundrie family attorney says the visit was to collect personal items belonging to Brian that will assist the canines in their search for Brian. Fox 13 reached out to the FBI Saturday for an update. They simply tell us the investigation is ongoing. Jordan Bowen, Fox 13 News.
Connie Lynn, thank you for being you. And what do you do for every live? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, straight up lies, Renee W. Straight up lies. Completely agree. Hold on. Yeah, I totally agree, Chen Perry. I mean, type of one, if you think that the parents, type of one, if you think the parents came back alone from that trip on the 8th without Brian. Type of two, if you think that he came back and then left on the date that they said was the last time that they saw him. Jeez. Oh my God. Did you send me something, Tommy? Hold on. What? What messages? I don't know what messages, Tommy. I don't know where you want me to check messages. I don't think you got my number or my email. What should my email? Is it my email? Did you send it to my email, Tommy? All right, let me do this. I don't even know what that was supposed to be. Hold on. Let me. Why was there a duck quacking in that audio? It was really weird. Hold on. Can you guys hear that? Hold on, let me reload this. There we go. Let's start this over. All right, you guys are saying there's no sound. Yeah, I don't know. The way it's filed, for some reason, it won't play audio from. But she's saying, so this girl is sitting here saying that she was coming back from a concert in Wyoming when she saw Brian. When she said she picked him up hitchhiking, and that his hand was bruised and he had bruises on the side of his face, and he was limping and walking with a cane. And she says that he should probably contact the police or report it. And she says that he told her, no, don't report it, blah, blah, blah. And then she breaks down crying, saying, oh my God, I realize now that he probably beat her up, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Okay. Now, do I think that that's probably more likely? Second, coming close second would be strangulation, but the most likely cause of death be blunt force trauma. Yeah, that's what I think. Personally, that's what I think. But when it comes to someone like this on TikTok, I'm not going to believe that until I see her and that TikTok video being mentioned in an arrest affidavit, or I see her sitting on the stand in a courtroom as a witness. So until that happens, I take everything like that I see with an absolute grain of salt. I do not invest much into it at all. So I just, I don't buy much into that. I mean, yeah, there's just too much, man. But this, going back to why I asked you guys to type a 1 or a 2, it just all seems too convenient. Why did she lie about that? You see what I'm saying? Now, I would be much more inclined to believe that Brian came back with them if she hadn't lied about that. Because why lie? And you know, the Laundrie's attorney is saying, oh well, it slipped her mind. It was a miscommunication. She misunderstood the question, and that's why. And that's not even plausible. You know, because first of all, I mean, who believes anything this guy's saying? Right? Like, a lawyer's job is to get you out of things legally. That's their job. A defense attorney's job is to get you out of something legally. It's not their job to encourage you to hide and run and speak up on his behalf while he's on the run. How is that not considered completely unethical? To me, that just it just makes no sense. I mean, there's a lot of things that are possible, you know, but if that's the case, why is he running? Why is his attorney not going, hey, listen, it's my job to prove this? If I'm his attorney, I'm going, okay, the truth is on our side. This is perfectly enough for me to create doubt in a jury. So come on in and we'll go from there. We'll work it out. I'm going to walk you through this. That's the attorney's job, not, oh man, dude, this is bad. You better get out of here. What? That's totally what he seems to be doing. I wouldn't be making any statements. If I was that attorney in that position, I wouldn't be making any statements whatsoever. Like, why is he making statements? Because it's making him look worse. It's making his client look worse. Like, at least tell the public, hey, I have this statement. If you're out there, I urge you to come back and we'll work this out together to do the right thing. Because if you haven't done anything, which I don't believe you have, I'd throw that in there if I was his attorney. Sure. I don't believe you have, but come on in and I'll walk you through everything. We'll be all right. That's what my job is to protect you. Because if you got nothing to worry about, then you got nothing to worry about. Otherwise, well, then he's making it seem like he does have something to worry about, which makes him look guilty. His own attorney is making him look like he has something to worry about to the public and in turn to law enforcement. Oh, I see what you're doing. No, dude, I'm an oak, bro. Okay. Oak trees don't get hungry. Okay. They stay steadfast. You understand me? Okay. And besides, I still got another 3 hours to eat. I got me some spinach. I got me some carrots. Gonna dip it in a little blue cheese. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be delicious. Okay? You're not gonna psych me out, Tommy Hortons. Over here. Dad Challenge Podcast is my friend, so I'm gonna root for him and I'm gonna try to psych Will out. You can't psych me out. Because I'm Zen, bro. You understand? Okay? I'm the Bruce Lee of weight loss, bro. Be like water, my friend. Please believe me. Will is winning. Yeah, okay. Listen, dude, I'll eat cardboard if that's what it takes to destroy these chumps in this challenge. That's what that's I'm over here doing the dad bod weight loss challenge. Those other two are doing the chump challenge. That's what that is. They're engaging in the chump challenge because it's a couple of chumps. You understand me? High summer hold. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. All right. I understand. I understand that's why you're rooting for me. I totally get it. No, this you guys think you're psyching me out. You guys think you're tempting me with stuff. You guys don't understand, bro. I'm poor. I'm grateful for what I got. I don't have these wants, these human fleshy wants that you all are infected with. Okay, me, dude, I got spinach, and I'm like, man, this is beautiful. It comes from the earth. It's delicious. Dude, and listen, bro. Let me show you what I sent Mexi, bro. Let me show you what I sent Mexi. All right, because I gotta let Mexi know what's up. All right, psychological warfare. Okay, psychological warfare. Okay, Sun Tzu. Read him. Read the dude. Bro, this was me at 7:00 tonight, bro. Okay, this is me at 7:00 tonight. All right, that's mid cardio, homie. That's mid cardio, dude. Drenched in sweat, bro. Drenched in sweat. Rocking out to Little River Band. Ding, 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 ding. Hell yeah. Right? Look at this, bro. That was what I ate yesterday. Hold on. Did almost 7.5 miles on the elliptical bike. Average speed 90. Okay. Burned 368 calories. Not to mention the rowing that took place. These dudes don't have the discipline I got, bro. They don't got it. They don't got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm tired of refreshing my thing. StreamYard sucks. So I'm gonna have to look at the chat through my phone. Crystal, yeah, that's good. But the problem is with that's why I'm not drinking. Because alcohol retains water. And you don't want that if you're losing weight. I think Josh is doing good too. Lori Barlow, yeah, I think Josh actually stands a chance. Josh has done this. Josh is capable of enjoying working out. Mexi is allergic to it, he said. That's his words. That's not even mine. That's not even mine. Don't think I'm over here giving Mexi verbal beatdowns, which I am. I don't want to know what he's going to do about it. But anyway, I'm not doing that, which I am. But anyway, I'm saying the dude himself said he's allergic to working out. Okay? That's why he can't beat me. Okay? Diet's not going to cut it. I mean, diet will cut it if you give yourself 6 months to lose 20 pounds. Sure, diet will cut it. Sure. You know what I mean? But if you ain't doing cardio, you're done. You're done. And if all Josh is going to do is lift, he's done too. Because I'm lifting, I'm cardioing, I'm eating clean, I'm fasting. It's going to be beautiful. Diet's not 85%, 75%. Okay? 85%. Get out of here. 85%. See what y'all got. Y'all over here trying to tempt me with foods. Hold on, let me look. Let me look what y'all are doing over here. Margot knows what's up. Margot knows what's up with the oak leaf. That's my jam. That's been my jam. I mean, she thinks she's tempting me, man. Cherry ain't tempting me with nothing. She's gonna fuck around and get timed out. That's what's gonna happen. Again. See, you're making Yo-Yo Ma hungry, but you ain't making the glare hungry. Okay? The glare ain't hungry. All right? You know what the glare is hungry for? Victory. You understand me? The glare is hungry for victory. Okay? Victory. Victory. Okay? That's what's happening. That's how this is going down. Don't make me have a Molly Go Lightly meltdown over this diet right here on this live. I will too. It's still fresh in my mind. Let's watch this shit again. Let's watch it again. Just for fun. Why not? Why not? I mean, why not? Let's watch what kind of dedication can really go into content creating right here. This is fantastic to me, bro. This is so good. Oh my God, it's so good. I gotta find it though. It's in my history. I don't even know how many YouTube videos I watched and accidentally clicked onto. It showed up in my history. Yo, and I heard that McDonough got canceled. Like, what is up with that, dude? That dude he's good, man. I don't know what is the problem. Why did they cancel McDonough, dude? Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? She's like, I got something for your ass. I got something for the laundry's ass. Thread of this.
I flew from Hershey to be here. And they're just sitting there, peeking out their windows. Well, I'm dirty. Very soothing. Very soothing. Dirty laundry. This house should be burned.
She said, I'm dirty. It's very soothing. She said it's very soothing. Dirty laundry.
I want to see them fined for this search. They know what happened. Or he lied. Because I'm going to tell you something. What got my heart was when I saw the manipulation that there's.
What do you mean they know what's happened or he lied? What do you mean? Like, we know the fool's lying. Well, he's not even lying. He's not even saying anything. What did he lie about? When did he lie? He hasn't even said anything. We haven't heard from him. We don't know where the dude is.
Son did with those cops in Utah. He had those cops eating out of the palm of their hand. That's a talent. You got to be psychotic in order to do that.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Because if you actually thought, okay, so this is why that's the drama community. That's what the true crime community has become. That's why we're real crime. We're not true crime anymore. That's true crime over there. We don't do that here. We actually think and use our brains. Okay, over there. That this person that's making a spectacle of herself and flew down to Florida just to do that, by the way. And for no other reason. Make no mistake, this is for no other reason than to create content. This is for no other reason than to somehow insert herself into this situation. She's trying to bait the parents into some sort of heated fight. She's trying to get them to engage with her the way that she gets people on her channel to do so. This is what she does. But this is so big and everybody's watching. She sees this as the ultimate way to build her channel. She sees dollar signs in her head, in her eyes. So she sees this as the ultimate way to build her channel. And so she she flies all the way down there because to her it's an investment. It's an investment. It's not because she cares so much, and it's not because she's so upset. I mean, she's a reality TV show actress, or a failed one anyway. And this is, this is what she does. She's trained in or even self-trained in creating drama and capitalizing off of it. So what she's trying to do is insert herself into this situation and create a drama thing. And she's hoping that the same thing that happened with the people on the street that got into the fight and that goes viral, she knows she has a YouTube channel. And if she's engaged in something like that with someone from the laundries, well, then that's going to go viral. It's going to go crazy. And then her channel is going to blow up under shitty circumstances. But nevertheless, she doesn't care what circumstances as long as her channel blows up. And that's exactly what's going on here. And this is the performance.
You got to be psychotic. And they let the girl, that girl was troubled. I think she saw something, she knew something, and then to separate them.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, that's what's really funny. She said that girl was troubled. I think she saw something and knew something. What are you talking about? Saw what and knew what? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the couple that was murdered? Well, if you'd been paying attention, well, that's been debunked by law enforcement. Now, it could be that they're just saying that because they don't want to compromise the integrity of their investigation. That's very possible. But I don't think she even knows what she's talking about here. She's just putting on a performance.
Her stay in the camper and him in a hotel. No, I'm sorry. This is not right.
Where are you from?
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
What's your name?
Marissa Zadinsky.
Spell that last name for me.
Marissa. Z as in Zulu.
Oh, God. I'm trying to fast
D as in
forward
Delta.
through her spelling her name.
A as in Alpha. Z as in Zulu.
I've never
Indigo,
seen anybody
SKY.
spell their last name
you
so
came here
dramatically.
Yes. I want to see them. I want to see the FBI drag these people out.
I mean,
And
no.
give some answers. This does not make sense. Listen, I got free speech too. You come on up, but I got free speech too. I'm not trying to be a drama queen, but
I'm not trying to be a drama queen. You flew from Pennsylvania down to Florida to act like that and then say, I'm not trying to be a drama queen. You paid money to be a drama queen. You spent travel expenses to be a drama queen. Like, what are you talking about?
To this, the whole world for a guy on the loose. And let me tell you something else, and you can quote me on this. If Dog the Bounty Hunter,
of course, quote me on this, because I got to throw Dog the Bounty Hunter in this, because this right here, I'm being filmed. So I've got to put on this performance. I'm being filmed right now.
find Brian Laundrie, I'm never paying taxes again.
She's telling the whole world. She's telling the whole world. If he finds Brian Laundrie, Dog the Bounty Hunter, I'm never paying taxes again. Fantastic.
Developments now from the state of Utah.
Hold on, let's watch.
I flew from Hershey to be here.
Yeah, we know. Okay. All right, did I pass it? Yeah, here we go.
Crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone. And though it may seem like a small barrier, a simple lock puts space between the thought and the trigger. Learn how securing your guns can help prevent suicide.
I'm glad I let that ad play.
All right, so I innocently left some flowers and stuff in front of Landry's house, and I was bent over. It was very nice and sweet, and all of a sudden I looked up, and then
I was bent over, and it was very nice and sweet.
A window all the way on the left, I saw like one blind, and I just kind of was like, I reacted, and I wish I didn't. I just wish I didn't.
No, you don't.
And I was like, how dare you?
You wouldn't be filming
this. How dare
this.
you? You know what you're saying. Don't do. Who do you think you are? Like, that's I mean, I just was like. Anyway. I just don't know who the hell these people think they are.
Who do you think you are?
Sorry. Mark, I got a little present for them.
This is hilarious to me.
I got a present for them. Oh no, man. You know, when you're seeing a developing story,
that's correct.
When it's happening right in your face, I don't know. It's different.
Let's hear that line one more time.
It's different. A developing story, when it's happening right in your face, I don't know. It's different.
Literally, every single crime case that's covered in this community is developing, and it's right in your face. So it's not different. It's not different. What's different is there's a lot more coverage on this, and you see an opportunity. You have the means to fly down there. You can write this off. She can write this. You know, you understand how this works. So she makes money off of her channel. She can write her flight off in her taxes as a business expense. You guys realize that? That's a fact. She can absolutely do that. And I guarantee you that's exactly what she's going to do.
No, I don't like it. God, hold on. Oh my God. The dirty fucking laundries. The dirty laundries. How are you fucking bastards? It won't, so, yeah, they're okay with DoorDash and everything else. Here you go. Here you go.
I mean, they're okay with DoorDash and everything else, because they got to eat. I mean, what do you think that who are you that they're going to open their door for you? Who are you? This case, like every other case, this is the same thing that happened with Watts, except with Watts, she managed to succeed and involve herself directly in it. So, she's doing the same thing here.
I'm not doing nothing illegal. Water for myself? Yep.
Dude, Courtney Love and Anna Nicole Smith. Is that what you're saying in chat? Courtney Love and Anna Nicole Smith and a dash of something else. I don't know.
Here we go.
So she innocently left something on their lawn. Innocently. But now she's got this whole thing going on.
Dirty laundry, come clean. And we're going to stick it in this. That ball. This is for you, Gabby. It's for you, baby. It's for you, sweetie. Hey. Why is the road?
I love this. Some bystander comes up and says, "Why is the road closed?"
Closed because there's a manhunt for Brian Laundrie.
Who's that?
An alleged murderer.
Oh, the guy that took to the lake with his wife or something. And
Fiance?
Yeah.
This is his house right there.
The 44, 54,
46, something.
I love this.
Something?
No, I'm not selling anything.
No. You should totally go ring their doorbell.
Go ring their doorbell. Go ring their doorbell.
No, he's on the
line. What is that?
The parents that are there, and they won't talk. That's the.
So let's get innocent bystanders involved in your craziness, in your absolute and total phony content creating inspired meltdown. Let's just get anybody involved who has nothing to do with anything. She smells the fact that they don't have anything to do with anything, and she's going, go ring their doorbell. Like, this person's like, you just told me a murderer lives there. What? Like, you just told me that a murderer lives there, and you're telling me to go ring their doorbell?
Problem. Dirty. Yeah. You'll know. It's the one they're all camped around. Dirty. Look. We got this.
She's so pleased with herself at this. She thinks this is the epitome of creativity right here. I love this.
Dirty laundry. We got some detergent, some cheap bleach, and a Monster drink. Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah. We're going to leave it outside that house.
Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Yeah. So yeah. So that right there is the best way I can describe why I've adopted the term real crime from Josh. Because it comes from a place of fresh innocence. That's why I like it. Okay. It started off not even as a joke. It started off as Josh misspeaking because he meant to say true crime, but because Josh is not polluted by the cesspool that is this community, right? Because he has not been polluted by it. He took this is his first case, and he has been killing it. He has been doing fantastic with it, right? And so to me, I'm like, okay, Josh is totally Forrest Gumping this thing. I love it. This is great. And so he calls it real crime. And so I was like, okay. And we joked with him. Everybody was like, Josh, you keep saying real crime, dude. It's true crime. He's like, oh, is it real crime? It's not real crime. It's true crime. And that cracked me up. And so I was like, you know what? Screw that, man. It is real crime. It is real crime. And he was saying he was saying I'm saying real crime. I don't care. I don't care if you also call it true crime. I'm saying real crime. And I was like, yeah. And I'm going to adopt that. And I'm going to take that as a fresh opportunity to separate from all of that, because I'm not doing Watts all over again. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going through that all over again. I'm sticking to the facts, and that's it. We're going to explore all of these different details. We're going to explore like we did tonight. To me, I felt that there was a deeper issue with that body cam footage, and that's what we did. We explored it. When I have these thoughts, I'm going to share them with you. And those are the things that we're going to stick to. We're not going to turn this into a drama scene. We're not going to turn this into it's just, that's the, what good does that do? How does that help you? You know what I mean? So I'm just not, you know what I mean? Like, how is that respectful to the family? I think in my own way, by me exploring what a deeper issue could be with as to why the cops did what they did with Gabby, and how they mishandled it, and why, and well, not why, but what could have contributed it, besides the factors involved that we saw in front of our faces. What could have contributed to them mishandling it. So to me, that's what I'm going to focus on and try to do. To me, that's helpful to the family in some way, shape, or form. Not necessarily helpful to them, but respectful. It's at least respectful, to try to explore these things, and hopefully these things can be prevented. Hopefully something like what happened in Moab, even though I believe their hearts were in the right place, it was still mishandled. And the bottom line is it could have possibly saved Gabby's life if that was handled correctly. But that also does not mean that they're to blame for what happened to Gabby. Nobody but Brian is to blame as to what happened to Gabby. Nobody but Brian. Maybe his parents a little, I mean, if he's the kind of person that feels like he's going to get bailed out of everything, then why wouldn't he have any fear of any consequences, any real fear of consequences? His parents are showing us now that they raised their kid to not be in fear of consequences, because they're always going to take care of him no matter what. They did not raise this person. We're not seeing the actions of either parent or child that the parents taught this child accountability. We're not seeing any of that. And there's nothing else to it. So if you want to put some blame on the parents as to what happened to Gabby, sure. I'm not against that at all. They're absolutely in some way, shape, or form somewhat accountable, because it's the way that they're handling it. Now, this is why people, I understand I brought up Watts earlier. Let's compare Watts for a second, okay? One might say, okay, well, Will, why would you say that about Brian's parents but not say that about Chris Watts' parents, right? Well, it's because of the way that Chris Watts' parents handled it. That's what differentiates them. That's how I know he wasn't raised to be that douchebag. That's how I know that, because I saw an interrogation video where Chris Watts could not help but confess to his father as to what happened. And Ronnie Watts sat there and comforted his son as he told him, you got to do what you got to do, and we'll get through this together. I'll be here with you, but you got to own up to it, and you got to help law enforcement, because, the Rucheks need answers. Ronnie Watts did that. Ronnie Watts handled the situation, handled a parent's nightmare the way that a responsible parent should have. That's the difference between the Watts and the Laundries. Big, big difference, if you ask me. Right. But You're saying, but Chris Watts confessed, Canine Rescue? It's not but Chris Watts confessed. It's that, yeah, Chris Watts confessed. You know why Chris Watts confessed? Because his father had him do so. His father encouraged him to do so. His father did exactly the opposite of what the Laundries are doing. There's no disputing that. Oh, God. And now everybody with the whole Watts parents' opinions. That's my fault. I guess I opened that door. But, you know, yeah, I really don't care what you think about the Watts. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that they're a-holes. I don't care if you think they're the best people in the world. I don't care. That's not what we're talking about here. That's not the point of what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is the indication that they are not to blame for Watts's actions in any way, shape, or form is because they encouraged him to take accountability, which the Laundries are not doing. So the Laundries are showing me through their actions that they raise their child to not worry about consequences, to not fear consequences. And if you don't fear consequences, what's to stop you from doing whatever the hell you want at the cost of anything or anyone else? What's to stop you? Thank you, Lindsay Rojo. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything else. A lot of people raise their kids. A lot of people baby their kids to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? They don't end up annihilating their family or killing their girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't understand, you know, I don't care how many of you parents are out there. I don't care how many of you are out there. None of y'all are perfect. None of y'all are perfect. But what matters when it comes down to a situation like the subject matter at hand, what matters is how you guide your child through it. That's what matters. How you guide your child through a life or death situation. Because as I've said 100 times already, if they think that they're helping their son, they're doing the opposite. Because he's the most wanted man in America right now. And there's a lot of people out there that fantasize about being heroes. And a lot of those people are cowards. And a lot of those cowards actually have weapons. And they'll see him from a distance. They won't try to approach him. They'll just take a shot, thinking they're going to be a hero and not understanding fully how the law works. And then you've got law enforcement. People that are trained to kill you if need be. And who knows what the situation could be. So for those of you that are sitting here saying, well, we don't know what the situation was with him and Gabby. We don't know. Could have been an accident, right? Okay, fair enough. Well, guess what? A cop shooting him, trying to apprehend him, could wind up being an accident. So why not avoid that scenario as best as you possibly can by turning yourself in peacefully, quietly, and letting your lawyer do their job and protect you? Why not do that? And if you're the parents, why aren't you encouraging him to do this? God, oh my God, Nicole M. You want to have a semantic argument in my chat? Seriously? Like, ridiculous, man. It doesn't matter. He wouldn't have confessed if his dad didn't talk to him. That's the whole point. He wouldn't have confessed if his dad didn't sit there and talk to him. Plain and simple. He was stonewalling the cops until his dad came in and talked to him, and then he started to tell the truth because his dad encouraged him to do it. That's the point. How it happened, how long it took to happen is not the point. Jesus. People blow my mind, man, with their little semantics. Like, I'd like a penny for your thoughts, but it's got to be a 1987 and it's got to be shiny. What? Anyways, yeah, man. I'm gonna look over chat. Let me refresh one more time because I'm not gonna put anything up here anymore as far as playing anything. So I'm gonna refresh so I can look at the. All right. So. That's what I feel when I have people like Nicole M in my chat. Like, everything's about them. I just drain. Right. They're not worried at all, dude. They're just like chilling. Like, they reported their son missing and they're just like kicking it, you know? Like, no public statement, not even through their lawyer, imploring Brian to come in quietly. Where are you, son? We're worried about you. Not even through their attorney are they doing that. Oh yeah, I'm definitely listen, my patience is a little thinner because of this diet. Don't get me wrong. Make no mistake about that. Yeah, dude. Like, he was at the police station. Like, he was there supporting his son. Okay? Are you trying to say, "Oh, well, he was there, he was at the police station and that's why?" No, man. Like oh, you know what? That's what happens when you act stupid. That's what happens. That's what happens when you act stupid in a hangry man's chat. Oh, who's the host? Who's the host tonight? Hannah? Right. Like, I hate having arguments with people that are just trying to have arguments. Like, that's the most annoying thing in the world. When they make a point and then I explain why their point is irrelevant to the point that I was making, and then it's just like my ego can't handle that, so I'm just going to keep on making more points just to argue and get on your nerves. Like, it's so irritating. It's the most juvenile thing ever, and it's ignorant because it means you're not listening. Like you'd think 3 years later, like the Watts case wouldn't rile people all up. 3 years later, dude. 3 years and 2 months to be exact. I will eat, but I'm going to eat clean. I still got an hour and a half to stuff my face with healthy food, bro. If my stomach growls, I'm going to like put I'm going to put the mic to it so you can hear it. Ignorant. What's up, Panda Lady? That's exactly what I got. I'm gonna get the little baby carrots, bro. Fresh ones. All right. I'll be dipping them in blue cheese. Find something on Netflix. Annie was telling me to watch. I already forgot the Japanese one. The game. Does anybody know what I'm talking about on Netflix? It's like #1 in the world. And I don't even know, like, I forgot what it's called. I keep finding other stuff I'd rather watch. Dude, Squid Game. Okay, I might start that tonight. Because I'm hearing a lot. Lindsay Rowe, if I just said something game, how are you going to be like Squid something? I'm just messing with you. So, I mean, yeah. But you know what I did watch? Okay, so you're saying it's so good. All right. I'll probably start it tonight. You know what was super intense? Midnight Mass. That's on Netflix too. Midnight Mass. That's on Netflix. That was amazing. That was like Interview with a Vampire meets the Jonesboro Massacre, Jonestown Massacre. I said Jones. I just realized I said Jonesboro when I described it to Annie. Jonestown Massacre. It's like, yeah, it's like that. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I really liked it. But I'll probably start Squid Game tonight. Maybe. I don't know. Calamari quiz. Yeah. Tommy Horton's hilarious. Yeah, man. I'm gonna eat some carrots, eat some spinach, Popeye that shit. All right, guys, I love you, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.